Morning everyone, my name is Tamlin and today we're going to do a few basics to get a good compost recipe. We're aiming to get a rich and crumbly compost to feed your plants and gardens. So to start with, you're going to need a source of carbon, nitrogen, air and water. So those are your 4 basic ingredients, and finding the right balance of those is important to create an environment where your microorganisms can thrive and compost happily for us. We get our nitrogen from fruit and vegetable waste that we collect from a local food market, but at home you can use any green garden waste, cow or horse manure, even bird guano. Very high in nitrogen. Carbon comes from these brown leaves and wood chips. This is our brown garden waste, but you can also use straw or even shredded bits of old newspaper. We also add a bit of mature compost in our recipe as an accelerant. That's just to kickstart the composting process. At home you could even use some old coffee grounds, which are very high in nitrogen. As you can see here, we're composting using windrows in a small-scale municipal operation, but even if you have less space at home, the layering method I'm going to show you will work. We start with a base layer of sticks to provide aeration under the pile, and then we create a giant lasagna, layering our carbon, our nitrogen, our mature compost and so on, and adding some water because you don't want your compost to dry out. So it took us some time to get our compost recipe right and fit for purpose, so I encourage you to experiment. You could start with a ratio of 1:1, carbon to nitrogen, but if you have a high nitrogen source like we do here with this food waste, then you might want to add some more carbon, and you could do a 2:1 ratio, carbon to nitrogen. Our compost takes about 3 months to mature and we're getting incredible results. If you're composting at home, it might take a little bit longer. And how do we know if our compost is ready? You don't want to see any bits of feedstock that haven't decomposed. If you pick your compost up, it should have a nice, rich smell like a forest floor, and you want the compost temperature to be at ambient air temperature. Happy composting!